look good.
Really look good.
They
They
look good.
do. They do.
Professionals.
Yeah, I like that.
Good morning. We're going to call our meeting to order, our work session to order this morning, and certainly this is a special day for our city, and we'd just like to take a moment to welcome each of you to our work session this morning and the swearing in of our new chief for our great city, the city of Madison, Georgia. I would ask if you have cell phones to please turn them off at this time. I'll silence them. This time we'll stand and have pledge of allegiance by Council Member Lathan and prayer by Mayor Pro Tem Reed.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would like to pray with us, would you please remain standing this morning? Dear God, we gather today as leaders in our community to make decisions that impact the lives of our citizens. We ask for your guidance and your wisdom as we work together to build a better future for our city. Help us to listen to each other's perspectives, to consider the needs of all, and to make decisions that promote the common good. Grant us the courage to stand up for what is right, the compassion to care for those in need, and the wisdom to make choices that benefit our community. We pray for unity, for respect, and for a spirit of cooperation that brings us together for the good of all. Amen?
Amen. This time we'll have our human resource person to come, Karen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, Mayor and Council, and to everyone in the room. I'll share a very brief update with you all about our defined benefit retirement plan for your edification this morning, which was previously adopted that we provide for our employees here with the City of Madison. In 2022, GMA, the Georgia Municipal Association, went and filed a amendment with the IRS based on changes to the tax law that took place in 2022. So on August 31st, the IRS issued a favorable opinion letter for the amendments that had to take place, and this allows for us to maintain our qualified plan for our defined benefit retirement plan. So to ensure that we're able to maintain that tax qualified status for all of our GMABS participants, which we as the City of Madison are one of those participants, we have to readopt our plan for the City of Madison to include the changes that were issued down from the IRS by the law. These changes have to take place and be adopted by the Mayor and Council before October 7th of 2024. So I'm here this morning just sharing that you'll receive those that document with the amendments that have been made by the IRS for your review, consideration, and your approval at your next regular meeting. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to entertain those at this time.
Is it good news?
It is. We continue to provide our employees a defined benefit retirement plan and maintain our tax qualified status as a qualified plan. So thank you. Thank you for that. And at this time, I'd like to take a moment to, I'm happy that I'm standing here as the Human Resources Director to be doing this moment of celebrating, in addition to what I like to call our team, an exciting new addition with a lot of other celebratory moments that are going to follow that on this morning. So I'm honored to be here as your HR Director leading this moment. I'd like to take a moment to introduce, first of all, during the process of seeking for a new police chief for our city, the city manager engaged several partners in the process to ensure that we did our due diligence in executing the process. And as a part of that, we instituted a community review panel that was composed of a diverse group of members of our city and county, which we're very excited to have a relationship with, that is growing and is going to prove itself to be vital to our operations for the city. So I'm not certain if any members of the panel are present this morning, but I'd like to take a moment to just acknowledge them. And if they are in the room, I would ask that they just please stand for acknowledgement. Mr. Charles Haney, Ms. Ernestine Edwards, Ms. Celia Murray, Mr. Travis Freeman, Bob Mackey, Nelson Hale, Pat Hodgetts, and James Woodard. Are any of the members of the panel in the room today?
I'm not sure.
I imagine they're not, because they're very quiet if they are. But we'd like to give a public thank you to them for their service and their participation, the role that they played in supporting the process of hiring a new chief of police. Also, one of our guests present today is an executive from the Georgia Chiefs of Police Association, Mr. Mike Wilkie, who is over operations for the organization, who was very, very instrumental in leading a great percentage of the process to provide professional support from experienced chiefs of police. So, Mr. Mike Wilkie, if you would please stand. Mike and I have been communicating via email and phone, and have had the pleasure to, we've exchanged pleasantries, but we have never officially met until this morning, so it's very nice to have you with us here, Mr. Wilkie. So at this time, I'd like to introduce to some and present to others Interim Chief Roy Whitehead, who has been very, very, exactly, as we say in the South, who has been amazing and has been a great colleague to have for the last couple of months. Chief is going to share some highlights with you all from the police department. Chief?
Thank you, Karen. John asked me to talk a little bit about the process that we've been through. We had, obviously, everybody knows that we've had the audit that was that was completed. Some of the steps that we've taken, and these are the foundation, the integral steps. The next chief will certainly take this to the next level and bring us to where we need to be. But some of the things they talked about was we need to improve internal communication, which I believe we've done. We've set up email groups so that we're sending out information all the time. We started our policy reform, which we have in process and had in process. We've acquired templates from certified agencies around the state, and we've passed those policies out to our employees to get their input into how we're going to proceed. And of course, one of them that we wanted to do immediately was to re-adopt a use of deadly force policy, and we have done that. We're trying to work harder in the recruitment process. We've set out advertising. We put signs out. We've got bumper stickers. We're putting the word out to different groups like GMC and others to try to find more and more qualified applicants. And I'm happy to say that we're now starting to get applications starting to come in. It was already in process when I got here, but we were able to hire two. One was a certified officer who's here with us today and doing a great job. The other one is in the academy, and he's doing exceedingly well in the academy, and he'll be graduating about September the 20th, and that'll certainly augment where we are as a team. We are pursuing certification. Our Assistant Chief, Colin Campbell, is going to be attending the certification managers training shortly to compile this with our software system that we purchased called Power DMS, which allows us to put the policies out there for everybody to be trained on and understand what they are, but also it helps us build the proofs to show that we are qualified and can become certified. One of the big advantages to certification is that we'd be operating at the highest and best standards in practice. The other thing is that once we achieve certification, and this is about an 18-month process, it'll give us a significant reduction in our liability insurance premium because we are following best practices. The audit talked about some structural changes in the building, and those are all in process right now, some to be completed hopefully within the next week or two. Then we're acquiring the bids for our video systems and everything that we're gonna need to do with that. The other thing that was important was they talked about that we didn't have much opportunity for advancement in our organizational structure. So we have made an organizational change, and now we've created a position of senior police officer, which we now have 3 of. We'll have 3 shortly. We also created a position of master police officer, which we don't have now, but they will be able to achieve it as they get more qualifications, more training, and more experience. Then the next we did was we had 1 sergeant's position in detectives, but we now have reclassified all of our corporals as sergeants, which creates another level of promotional possibility. And then the next thing is we created a lieutenant's position, and that lieutenant will be in the patrol division. But now there are all these steps for advancement, which we've never had before, and that's hopefully that'll be encouraging to the staff that we have and help us with recruitment and retention. So at this time, we're going to actually do the pinning of the new lieutenant who has been selected, and then the sergeants will receive their badges and stripes as well. Unfortunately, a couple of sergeants couldn't be here this morning because of other commitments. One's in California with his family, and another's had a medical procedure that had been scheduled and had to be there for that. So at this time, I'm gonna ask them to all stand up. Just to be clear, that the process that we went through to hire a chief is very similar to what we did for promotion. There were many steps that were involved in it. They had to do a letter and a resume. They took a written test. There was writing exercises. They were given credit for their length of time with the city, length of years in law enforcement, numbers of certification, training hours, education, and then we had an outside review board come and score them as well. And so we promoted based on the top score, and the person who received the top score was Chuck Elder. Each of our corporals have received been reclassified as sergeants, and then because Chuck is now a lieutenant, we're going to make another sergeant. We're gonna do each one.
Okay.
This is Mike Maxwell. Move back on here, sir. Or you want to do all 3? Why don't we do all that, do it all, stand as a group? That's what I said.
Stand in front, right?
Oh, okay.
Hey, get over here, we about to get in the picture.
Y'all want to stand up?
So happy for you guys.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Just in closing from my part, I want to tell you that this is a very, very excellent police department, comprised of very good men and women who do a great job every day. And I'm humbled to have the opportunity just to work with them. And you'll see that with the new chief and the direction they go, we've gotten involved in a lot of things like community engagement. We've had our dinner. We're going to have another one we're doing. We're going to have a Citizens Police Academy this fall. So we're doing everything that we can to try to engage the community, because I think that's another finding that we wanted to do better at. So we're working on that too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, Mr. Mayor, if I may. I just think I'd like to thank Chief Whitehead again for all his excellent work and really helping bring us up to speed. And you've done an awesome job, and you've been a great face in the community. We really appreciate that.
Thank you. Okay. I will second that motion. Thank you, Chief.
Wanted to make sure I was not in the way of you sharing your great comments. Thank you so much, Chief Whitehead, for that. And at this time, we're going to have our city manager, Mr. John Kling, come forward and share a few words with us.
Thank you, Karen, and good morning, Mr. Mayor and
morning.
members of the council. I want to spend a moment to reflect on the present before we talk about the future of this city, and repeat some of the comments that have already been made about our interim police chief. I've spent the last week or two, when I bumped into police department employees, I took the time to say, what are your reflections about Chief Whitehead? I heard from our employees that he professionalized the department, that I trust him, that he improved morale, that he treated us fairly, and the most profound statement, he gave us hope. So I want to applaud the work of our interim chief. Since April of this year, we've been blessed with his presence, and he's done so much in such a short period of time. Chief Whitehead came to Madison already having a distinguished career in law enforcement, and we were the beneficiary of that experience and rare brand of leadership. He went to work with our recently completed audit and with every single one of our dedicated police department employees, and they've done so much already in implementation of the recommendations. Chief Whitehead, a grateful city and a grateful team of employees thanks you for your commitment and dedication to our city. We are better off for it. And I am wishing you much health and happiness in your retirement years, and of course that's if you ever choose to retire, which I'm suspect about. But on behalf of every one of our employees, I want to introduce the two Karens and Colin for a special presentation.
Typically, Mr. Mayor, this is the part in a family gathering where you offer what we call a roast to the people, the person that you're doing the presentation, where you say all types of terrible things about them and embarrass them completely. The one thing that I'm going to say is that although this sounds like a bidding of farewell or a bidding you adieu into your next chapter, Chief Whitehead, I need you to know that you're actually under contract still, and I hold your contract. So you're going to be chained to the contract until you, I, and the city manager have a conversation about when you can leave. So don't think you're getting out of here anytime soon. So on behalf of all of your colleagues across every department in the city of Madison, all of our department heads that are in the back, and all of our employees in their respective places, we have enjoyed a strong, fruitful relationship with you since April. You came in like you had been here always. And so on behalf of us, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for seeing everyone, both your uniformed and sworn-in officers as well as the civilian staff that do amazing work in the police department. Thank you for seeing the city of Madison. Thank you for seeing the leadership. Thank you for not just looking at the audit and thinking that this was a problem, but seeing it as an opportunity to make a place that's already great even greater. Through your leadership, through your experience, we appreciate you so, so much. And here's a small token of our appreciation to you on behalf of the staff. Thank you so much. The instructions is always go to the mayor.
Everyone look over here. Oh, Rick, can you, chugga chugga, thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
I recognize this is a bit unorthodox at a work session, but Mr. Mayor and Council, we appreciate the liberty to do that this morning to celebrate our colleagues. We're going to have our city manager come back up and share just a bit about the search process for our new chief of police, and then we'll share some additional highlights before his swearing in.
Thank you, Karen, and through you, Mr. Mayor, to the council, just to remind you of the comprehensiveness of the process. It seems like we've been doing this forever. I hope it doesn't feel that way to you, but it has been a comprehensive and a lengthy process. And Mr. Mike Wilkie is here, and what a wonderful job the Georgia Association of Chiefs have in providing us needed assistance in this process. And if there's a city in the state of Georgia that has implemented a more comprehensive approach, I'd like to know what it was, because we tried to cover every base in this process. We had 18 original candidates from all over the state, and the first step was to have the applicants be interviewed by the Georgia Association of Chiefs of Police Staff, and then they assembled a panel of retired and present-day chiefs to interview the candidates for the job. Then there was a standardized test that tests one's knowledge about the law and about police practices and policies. There was an assessment center by the Georgia Association that I'm told was rather grueling. And as you know, we added a community panel component. I see at least one member of our community panel here, and I want to thank all of them because we wanted to get a local response to the various candidates or whatever. And I applaud Chief Whitehead because in assembling the community panel, I thought it was going to be a one-time situation where they were going to help us with this process. And Chief Whitehead and members of the community panel said we'd be more than glad to assist on an ongoing basis. And they just had a meeting, I think it was Monday, and I've already read the minutes of that meeting, and the new chief will have on his desk a whole list of wonderful recommendations from our community. So I suspect and hope that you continue with your relationship with the community panel because they're extraordinarily helpful to all of us. There was psychological testing, there was polygraph testing, and we had a comprehensive GBI background review. And then after all of that, the applicants came in, the finalists came in, and were interviewed by myself and our staff. And so the candidate that, for a variety of reasons, rose to the top is here with us today, Lieutenant John McIlvaine. Lieutenant McIlvaine and his family presently live in McDonough. Lieutenant McIlvaine presently works for the city of Stockbridge, which is a much larger city, a city of almost 30,000. It's actually bigger than Morgan County. And I think that experience probably will certainly help the lieutenant in the future. Before that, he was in Athens, Clark County for a number of years. And before that, he was serving our country as a veteran in the U.S. Army, where he left with the rank of Staff Sergeant. Lieutenant McIlvaine holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and he's completed recently the Northwestern University School of Police Staff and Command. He has over 4,400 hours of advanced law enforcement training to his credit. He's held the positions of police officer, domestic violence detective, senior police officer, police sergeant, and now police lieutenant. He has numerous certifications from Georgia's Post, which is the Peace Officers Standard and Training Council. He has the managerial certificate, the supervisory certificate, the traffic accident reconstruction certificate, the general instructor certificate, the firearms instructor certificate, the driver training specialty instructor certificate, the use of force specialty certificate, the taser instructor, and the field sobriety instructor. When he was with the Athens Clark County Department, he was honored and recognized and is the recipient of the Clark and Oconee Counties Domestic Violence Law Enforcement Advocate of the Year. He spent a considerable amount of time as a detective, and he focused and specialized on domestic violence cases, and both counties have recognized him for his service. Lieutenant McIlvaine, the City of Madison welcomes you and your family, and we look forward to the positive impact you will have on our department and our entire community. And for the last time, Lieutenant McIlvaine, will you join me at the podium with the mayor to get sworn in?
Raise your right hand. Jonathan L. McIlvaine, do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully perform the duties of the police chief of the City of Madison, and that you will support and defend the charter thereof, as well as the Constitution and laws of the state of Georgia and of the United States of America?
I do.
Congratulations.
Definitely not that uniform that he has on. It's different, it's nice. It's clean.
Sit down.
It's nice.
Congratulations and welcome to our new police chief, Chief Jonathan McIlvaine. Let's give him another round of applause, please. We look forward to working in partnership with you, Chief, to continue to make our city even greater. At this time, we are bringing this portion of the meeting to a conclusion, but we'd like to thank everyone again for attending this morning. To the members of the Community Review Panel who are present, Mr. Bob Mackey, again, thank you. I believe I've failed to mention Miss Elizabeth Robinson when I gave the names earlier, so I wanted to come back and correct myself and state her name. But if you all would, please stay and join us. We have refreshments in the lobby. We'd love for you to stay and partake to meet our new police chief, and I'm certain that they are going to want to do photos with you and the family with the police chief. Thank you all again. We appreciate you. Have a good day.
And that ends this part of our meeting this morning, and please feel free to talk to our chief and his family as we join together for refreshments outside. Thanks again.
Mayor, could I add one quick comment? I just wanted to thank the gentleman who put together such a comprehensive and participatory process to achieve the wonderful news we've got today. And that's our city manager, John Klim, who I think did a really fine job in bringing us to Chief McIlvaine today. So thank you, John.
Thank you.